The movie begins with a terrifying flashback set centuries in the past during the era of the English Civil War and the witch trials. An old woman believed to be a witch is brutally executed along with her daughters. Before dying, she screams a horrifying curse promising that she will return and that the descendants of those responsible will suffer terribly. Dark imagery of axes, bodies falling, and eerie sounds create an unsettling atmosphere. The curse becomes the foundation of the mystery that drives the story forward. The film then shifts to modern times and introduces Sharon and Michael Templar, a troubled couple traveling to a remote farmhouse in the English countryside for a weekend getaway. Their relationship is clearly strained, though they are trying to reconnect and repair things between them. Sharon is uncomfortable from the beginning because she is a city woman unfamiliar with rural life, while Michael seems excited by the isolation and adventure. Their difficult walk to the farmhouse already hints that the trip may not go smoothly. At the farmhouse they meet the owner, Arthur, an older man who appears friendly but mysterious. He explains that the property has belonged to his family for generations and talks sadly about his late wife Claire, who died unexpectedly from a heart attack. Arthur's loneliness and strange behavior create an uneasy feeling. Sharon asks many questions about safety and whether anyone has ever broken into the property, making it obvious she feels nervous about being so isolated. Arthur mentions that a drunk wanderer once entered the property years earlier but insists the area is normally peaceful. The conversation soon becomes stranger when Michael and Arthur begin discussing conspiracy theories and modern society. Michael believes the world is becoming controlled and oppressive, while Sharon jokes that both men sound paranoid. This contrast between Sharon's skepticism and Michael's fascination with strange ideas becomes important throughout the story. Arthur then warns the couple about the nearby woods. He tells them not to wander too deeply because there is an old ruined cottage hidden there that has become dangerous over time. Although he first explains the danger as purely physical, saying someone once broke a leg near the ruins, Sharon quickly senses he is hiding something more sinister. After some pressure, Arthur finally reveals the local legend connected to the place. According to Arthur, centuries ago an old widow and her daughters lived in the cottage and were accused of witchcraft. They were eventually executed and their ashes hidden deep in the forest so nobody could ever find them again. Before their deaths they supposedly cursed the woods, promising that their spirits would kill anyone who dared approach their former home. Although Arthur tries to dismiss it as only a legend, the warning clearly unsettles Sharon and Michael. That evening, after Arthur leaves, the couple talks privately. Michael dismisses the story as nonsense and jokes about Bigfoot, while Sharon remains disturbed by the strange atmosphere. The tension between them becomes more personal when Sharon admits she wants their relationship to survive. Their emotional moment is interrupted by a horrifying animal scream outside the farmhouse. Michael claims it is only a fox, but the sound feels unnatural and threatening. The next morning, despite Arthur's warnings, Sharon becomes curious about the woods and convinces Michael to explore with her. Their journey through the forest starts playfully, but the mood slowly darkens. Sharon suddenly believes she sees a figure moving through the trees. Michael dismisses her fear, causing another argument between them. Their disagreement reveals deeper wounds in their relationship, especially regarding an earlier incident where Sharon claimed her boss behaved inappropriately toward her and Michael did not fully support her. As emotions rise, they discover an ancient object hidden in the woods. It appears extremely old and carries the name Morag. Michael immediately becomes uneasy and urges Sharon to leave the object alone, sensing something is wrong. However, Sharon's curiosity overpowers caution. When she touches the mysterious item, terrifying supernatural events suddenly occur. A ghostly growl echoes through the woods and Sharon screams in horror as an unseen force appears to awaken. This scene strongly suggests that the ancient curse has been disturbed and that the spirits connected to the witch trials may now be active again. The story then shifts focus to a different set of characters living in America. A struggling paranormal magazine company is facing financial collapse. The boss, Spencer, is desperate to save the publication and constantly pressures his employees. Among his staff are Sam and Mary, two journalists and investigators who are also romantically involved. Sam is dealing with personal problems, including a painful divorce and career struggles, while Mary supports him despite their stressful lives. Spencer discovers reports about mysterious disappearances in rural England connected to rumors of witchcraft. Seeing an opportunity for a sensational paranormal story, he sends Sam and Mary to the United Kingdom to investigate. Spencer believes this case could save the failing magazine and restore public interest in paranormal journalism. Although hesitant at first, Sam and Mary eventually agree to travel overseas for the assignment. Their journey introduces a new layer to the film. Unlike Sharon and Michael, who unknowingly stumbled into danger, Sam and Mary actively seek out supernatural mysteries as part of their work. Sam is originally from England, making the return feel personal to him. Their relationship appears stronger and more stable than Sharon and Michael's, though hints of emotional tension still exist beneath the surface. When Sam and Mary arrive in the English countryside, they are greeted by none other than Arthur, the same mysterious farmhouse owner who hosted Sharon and Michael. Arthur explains that Spencer arranged their stay and welcomes them warmly. During dinner, they discuss the local disappearances and the rumors surrounding the woods. Arthur reveals that 6 people have vanished, most of them couples around the same age as Sharon and Michael. Arthur also introduces the concept of witch bottles, ancient objects historically used to protect people from witchcraft. He shows them one he supposedly found in the woods containing rusty nails, twigs, hair, and dark liquid resembling blood. This discovery intensifies the supernatural atmosphere and suggests that occult rituals may truly be taking place in the forest. Sam and Mary speculate about possible satanic cults or secret groups operating in the area. They discuss conspiracies involving wealthy elites and ritual practices hidden from the public. Arthur appears uncomfortable during this conversation and avoids giving direct answers, making him seem increasingly suspicious. It becomes clear he knows more than he is willing to admit. The investigators ask Arthur about the exact location where previous visitors disappeared. Reluctantly, he provides them with an old map leading to a clearing deep in the woods where the ruined cottage once stood. Arthur repeatedly warns them not to explore too deeply, emphasizing that the last couple who ignored his warning vanished without a trace. Late that night, horrifying screams suddenly echo from somewhere outside near the woods. The sounds resemble a woman being attacked by an animal. Sam immediately grabs a flashlight and rushes outside despite Mary begging him not to go. The darkness surrounding the farmhouse feels alive and dangerous. Sam searches the area but finds nothing except strange tracks and an overwhelming sense that something is watching him from the shadows. Although he sees no attacker, the terrifying noises deeply unsettle both of them. They decide to continue investigating in the morning. The next day, Sam and Mary follow Arthur's map deeper into the woods in search of the old ruin connected to the witch legend. After hours of walking through the freezing countryside, they finally discover a mysterious clearing hidden among the trees. In the center lies the ruined remains of the ancient cottage once occupied by Morag Hazel and her daughters. The location is strangely beautiful but also deeply unsettling. Mary immediately feels as if unseen eyes are watching them from every direction. Inside the clearing, they discover an ancient urn buried near the ruins. The object appears connected to the witches who were executed centuries earlier. Sam wants to take the urn with them for investigation, but Mary insists they should leave it alone because it feels sacred and dangerous. Eventually, they decide to return to the farmhouse and interview local villagers instead. That evening, the mood briefly becomes peaceful. Sam and Mary enjoy the quiet countryside and begin discussing how relaxing life away from technology feels. For a moment, the film gives the audience hope that the nightmare may simply be local superstition. However, this calm is shattered when terrifying supernatural sounds once again emerge from outside the farmhouse. The growling and screaming seem unnatural, almost demonic. Back at the farmhouse, Sam and Mary discover an unconscious young woman outside. She appears injured and traumatized, likely another victim fleeing from whatever haunts the forest. Mary desperately tries to help her while Sam prepares to run to the nearest village for assistance. However, before he can leave, the girl mysteriously vanishes from the bed where she was resting. Neither Sam nor Mary saw her leave the room, making the disappearance impossible to explain. This moment convinces them that something supernatural is truly occurring. Terrified, Sam and Mary confront Arthur and demand answers. Arthur finally reveals the full truth behind the legend. He explains that Morag Hazel, the accused witch, and her daughters were brutally executed by a cruel nobleman named Rufus Fairfax centuries earlier. Rufus and his men falsely accused them of witchcraft after becoming obsessed with Morag's beautiful daughters. The women were dragged away, abused, and beheaded while Morag cursed Rufus and his descendants before dying. Arthur then reveals the most terrifying part of the legend. Every 100 years, Morag's spirit supposedly returns to seek revenge by feeding on the blood of the descendants of those responsible for her death. According to old stories passed down through Arthur's family, previous generations witnessed mysterious disappearances and bodies drained completely of blood. Arthur admits that the current year marks the exact centennial of the curse's return. Sam and Mary become horrified after learning this information and decide they want to leave immediately. Unfortunately, Arthur informs them that the last train has already departed and they are trapped at the farmhouse until morning. Forced to spend one more night there, they barricade themselves inside and hope the stories are nothing more than superstition. Meanwhile, the movie introduces Father Thomas Jackson, an experienced exorcist connected to Arthur through mutual acquaintances. Arthur secretly contacts him for help dealing with the curse. Father Jackson arrives carrying what he claims are the remains of Morag's daughters. He believes the restless spirit continues killing because the daughters' remains were separated from their mother centuries earlier. According to his theory, returning the remains to the ruins will finally allow the spirits to rest peacefully. As Arthur and Father Jackson travel toward the woods, Sam experiences terrifying visions inside the farmhouse. He encounters the ghostly figure of Morag herself. The spirit demands to know where her children are and attacks him violently. Father Jackson intervenes using prayers and religious rituals to drive the spirit back temporarily. The scene becomes one of the film's most intense moments, combining supernatural horror with religious imagery. The priest and Arthur race into the woods carrying the remains. Deep inside the clearing near the ruined cottage, Father Jackson performs a ritual and throws the remains into the burial area connected to Morag. He begs the spirit to reunite peacefully with her children and finally rest. Although the ritual appears successful at first, nobody is certain whether the curse has truly ended. The film then reveals another important secret involving Arthur himself. He confesses that he is actually a descendant of Rufus Fairfax, the nobleman responsible for Morag's execution centuries earlier. Arthur believes the curse may specifically target his bloodline. This revelation explains why he has always been so fearful and secretive about the woods. The movie also introduces corrupt journalists and police officers investigating the recent murders. A greedy reporter bribes officers for inside information while authorities mock the supernatural explanations being offered by witnesses. Most officials refuse to believe in witchcraft or demons, dismissing survivors as insane. Their arrogance becomes dangerous because they underestimate the true evil haunting the countryside. One of the film's final shocking scenes involves Arthur being haunted by the ghost of his dead wife Claire. Her spirit appears before him in a disturbing vision and accuses him of terrible things from the past. The emotional moment suggests Arthur may have hidden secrets of his own beyond simply being Rufus Fairfax's descendant. In the climax, police officers interrogate survivors who insist the attacks were caused by the witch. The officers laugh and mock them, refusing to take the claim seriously. Suddenly, the supernatural entity attacks directly inside the police station area. One officer is violently killed as the witch's terrifying growls echo through the darkness. The scene proves beyond doubt that Morag's curse is real and far from over. The film ends on an ominous note rather than a complete resolution. Although Father Jackson attempted to reunite Morag with her daughters, it remains unclear whether the curse has truly been broken. Death and supernatural terror continue spreading across the countryside, suggesting the Blood Witch still walks among the living. The ending leaves the audience with the chilling possibility that revenge centuries in the making can never truly be stopped, especially when the sins of the past continue haunting the present. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.